welcome back. This is the first episode of Red Business in Focus with thanks to Cork's local enterprise offices in our new series. We are kicking it off with a bang because we are honoured to have two Cork finalists on our panel for the National Enterprise Awards on June 1st. We can't wait to hear all about the awards themselves and their experience, but I am delighted to be joined by Conor Hyde and Carol Feller. Lovely to have you back in the programme, Carol. Conor, first time for you, so lovely to have you with us. Let's talk about the national awards first of all. You might give us an insight, Carol, into what they are and why it's so important that you got to that level.
We're obviously, really honoured to actually have been nominated by the Cork Leo. And every single Leo around the country, they either have a competition or they nominate someone from that area that they've been working with. And it's just, it's great for the whole team because it actually means that being recognised for the work you're putting in and that you're making progress, because normally you're in your own little bubble, and to realise that it's being recognised outside your own company as well is just, it's great.
We have met before, as I mentioned, and your business is the business of wool, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah. How have things been going since we spoke last?
They've been going great. Again, we've gotten a couple of expansion grants. We've been growing the employee base, which actually means we've been able to do a lot more with the business, and it's been going really well. I've had a couple of different things like a Galway Blanket Club, which we launched this year, that just kind of flew out the door, which was really, really nice. So hopefully we can kind of keep on building on that.
That sounds like a really nice club to be in. A blanket club.
It is, really, I'm telling you.
And you brought a lovely blanket with you here today as well. Did you make that yourself?
I designed it. This one I didn't. It's a blanket version of a cardigan. I knit the cardigan and then somebody else knit this blanket.
So that is actually a handmade blanket?
It is absolutely.
How long does it take to knit something like that?
That's kind of asking like how long a piece of string is.
Or a piece of wool.
Yeah. Some people it could be a couple of weeks. Others it could be 6 months by the time they get to it. But there's no rush because most people are knitting for the pleasure of knitting. So the length of time is usually secondary to the enjoyment of the process.
Conor Hyde, how's your knitting?
Not as good as what I'm seeing here in front of me.
Yeah. Well, I suppose, Carol, how's your whiskey making would be the other question. Yeah, Conor, tell us a little bit about what you guys do in Hyde Whiskey.
So we're bonders. We age whiskey. So we take new make whiskey and we put it in very good casks and we age it over 3 years. So it has to be in the cask for 3 years to call it whiskey. And after 3 years, we put it sometimes in other casks to give it a different finish. So we're whiskey bonders.
So it's an interesting business. What does it mean for you to be nominated?
It's a huge accolade for us to have, I suppose, the South Cork Local Enterprise Office to choose us, and it is nice to get a pat on the back and say you're doing some things right with your business, and it's very welcome at this stage in our growth. Whiskey
is an unusual product. We're renowned for it in Ireland. And the Scottish do Scotch, we do whiskey. Scots do whiskey as well, but it doesn't count. For you, how important is it that you can have a quality product? Because you've more than one. It's not just one particular brand that you do.
We do. We've 23 different whiskies at this stage, and we export into 65 different markets around the world. So we're growing all the time. There's 195 countries out there, so we have a long way to go. But we're growing every year with more and more markets with our range of Hyde Irish whiskey.
So what exactly are these national awards then, Carol? What do they mean? How did you get to this point? You were nominated, I think, by the local enterprise office.
Yeah, because when I'm working through the actual, over the last couple of years, I've been working a lot with Leo. And so they've kind of gotten to know the business very, very well. And kind of from there, they realised that the business had a lot of potential and that we were really, that we were making really good strides with the business. And so they thought that, that it deserved recognition. So that everyone from the different counties around are going to come, and a couple of weeks ago, it was actually last in April, in the middle of April, we had interviews we had to put a pitch, slideshow, video, and actually have a Q&A with the panel. And then
so it wasn't exactly easy.
There was far more work than I'd anticipated, but it did help because of the fact that going through that process also kind of clarified our own message and helped us figure out what areas we really need to put a bit of thought into. So it actually helped grow the business going through the process. And we won't know the results until the actual award night on the 1st of June, when there'll be a big grand announcement.
And you'll cheer for each other if you do win. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Cork crew.
They're both really unique businesses, which is why I love the fact that you have both been nominated here. What advice, Carol, would you give somebody who is starting out on the journey, who maybe hasn't made that contact with the local enterprise office yet, who has great ambition but doesn't know where to start?
I'd say just make that call. Go through the website, take some of the, like they've got some great courses, particularly when you're starting out. A lot of the Grow Your Business courses are just setting up a business. Or if there's areas that you know that you've got very big holes in, whether it's marketing or social media, there's like lots of morning courses that can help fill gaps. So often starting out, you don't know what you don't know. So like my suggestion is, well, first of all, jump in. Don't be afraid to actually make mistakes as you go along, but then recognize what you don't know and find a way to fill those gaps in, or somebody who can work with you to fill the gaps.
Conor, your business has been on the go a long time. You're not first generation by any stretch, but presumably the advice that you got helped you when you needed to expand and grow.
Absolutely. Even though we're in the whiskey business for 10 generations, likewise, we would have got so much help from the local enterprise office. And one of the aspects, I think, which is very beneficial is the mentoring, where you can apply for mentoring. So as a first step, I think that's an easy one to do without having to apply for a grant aid. You can just ask for a mentor to come and work with you over a number of days to hold your hand and talk you through strategy and marketing and sales and distribution, and it's free. From the local enterprise office.
It's really good advice to at least have that conversation. Start the chat. June the 1st is the big ball. I hope you have a lovely dress picked out, Conor, and a lovely black tie picked out, Carol.
Perfect, yeah.
All ready to
Great
go
tips.
and dressed up. Best of luck to both of you. Carol Feller from Stolen Stitches. StolenStitches.com is the website address, if I'm not mistaken. And HydeWhiskey.ie is your website, Conor. Thanks so much and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Join us next week. We're going to be speaking to Dr. Niall O'Keefe of the Cork Local Enterprise Office. It's an important episode you won't want to miss if you have ever had the ambition to start your own business, but you literally didn't know where to begin. Niall is going to fill us in on what the Leo can do for you and share his top tips to guide you through the process. That's next week on Red Business in Focus, with thanks to Cork's local enterprise offices.